Reading through the Bible this year by Mrs. Beatrice Asante, reading Ezekiel chapter 46. This is what the sovereign Lord says. This gateway of the inner courtyard will be closed during the 6 weekdays each week, but it will be open on Sabbath days and the days of new moon celebration. The prince will enter the gateway from the outside. Then he will stand by the gatepost while the priest offer his burnt offering and peace offering. He will bow down in worship inside the gateway passage and go back out the way he came. The gateway will not be closed until evening. The common people will bow down and worship the Lord in front of the gateway on Sabbath days and the days of new moon celebration. Each Sabbath day, the prince will present to the Lord a burnt offering of 6 lambs and 1 ram, all who has no defect. He will present a grain offering of a basket of choice flour to go with the ram, and whatever amount of flour he chooses to go with each lamb, and he is to offer 1 gallon of olive oil for each basket of flour. At the new moon celebration, he will bring 1 young bull, 6 lambs, and 1 ram, all with no defect. With the young bull, he must bring a basket of choice flour for a grain offering. With the ram, he must bring another basket of flour. With each lamb, he is to bring whatever amount of flour he chooses to give. With each basket of flour, he must offer 1 gallon of olive oil. The prince must enter the gateway through the entry room, and he must leave the same way. But when the people come in through the north gateway to worship the Lord during the religious festival, they must leave by the south gateway, and those who entered through the south gateway must leave by the north gateway. They must never leave by the same gateway they came in, but must always use the opposite gateway. The prince will enter and leave with the people on these occasions, so that the feast and sacred festival, the grain offering, will be a basket flour with each ram, and as much flour as the worshipper chooses to give with each lamb. Give 1 gallon of olive oil with each basket of flour. When the prince offer a voluntary burnt offering or peace offering to the Lord, the east gateway to the inner courtyard will be opened for him, and he will offer his sacrifices as he does on Sabbath days. Then he will leave, and the gateway will be shut behind him. Each morning, you must sacrifice a 1-year-old lamb with no defect as a burnt offering to the Lord. With the lamb, a grain offering must also be given to the Lord, about 3/4 of flour with 1/3 of gallon of olive oil to moisten the choice flour. This will be a permanent law for you. The lamb, the grain offering, and the olive oil must be given as a daily sacrifice every morning without fail. This is what the sovereign Lord says. If the prince gives a gift of land to one of his sons as his inheritance, it will belong to him and his descendant forever. But if the prince gives a gift of land for his inheritance to one of his servants, the servant may keep it only until the year of Jubilee, which comes every 50 years. At that time, the land will return to the prince. But when the prince gives gifts to his sons, those gifts will be permanent, and the prince may never take anyone's property by force. If he gives property to his sons, it must be from his own land, for I do not want any of my people unjustly taken from their property. The temple kitchen. In my vision, the man brought me through the entrance beside the gateway and led me to the sacred rooms assigned to the priest, which faced towards the north. He showed me a place at the extreme west end of the rooms. He explained this is where the priest will cook the meat from the guilt offerings and sin offerings and bake the bread from the grain offering into bread. They will do it here to avoid carrying the sacrifices through the outer courtyard and endangering the people by transmitting holiness to them. Then he brought me back to the outer courtyard and led me to each of its 4 corners. In each corner, I saw an enclosed. Each of those enclosed was 70 feet long and 52.5 feet wide, surrounded by walls. Along the inside of those walls was a ledge of stone with fireplace under the ledge all the way around. The man said to me, "These are the kitchens to be used by the temple assistants to boil the sacrifice offered by the people." Amen and amen.